Hey guys, back again. This is a video that probably has had more requests than anything else that I've done. And as you can tell by the chaos that's up there, what's about to happen is a total request by numerous people. This is going to be a multi-part video series. It has required me going to the garage, digging through closets, going through everything I own to find every bit of this collection. And by the title, you already know what I'm talking about. To the point, this has been so crazy, just to give you an idea. I am sitting next to 5 boxes plus a pile of stuff on the floor. My cat thinks I'm moving. He's having panic attacks. He's like circling the house. I think he really thinks I'm getting ready to move. He does this every time I move. He has a panic attack. Okay. What I'm going to do is show you an overview of my VHS collection. This is going to be exhausting. I'll go as fast as I can. Certain things I will just kind of flip the front and the back. I won't talk about it hardly at all. If you've seen my Laserdisc collection, you'll know what I mean. There isn't a point really to talk about the movies. I may have something to say in bits and pieces of specialty VHS tapes, things like that. But for the most part, this is just to show you what I actually have in my collection. My VHS collection is very incomplete. I have lost a lot of things over the years, but that's not to say I don't have a lot still left and haven't accumulated more things as a collector over the years past death of VHS. What I will start with are my individual VHS tapes. These are just standard slipcover VHS. And then from there, I'll evolve over into PAL tapes, box tapes, promos, other things. So if this just abruptly ends somewhere weird, this is just where the battery died, or this is where I decided to end this part, and there will be another part on the way. Forewarning, the best setup I can give you. Let's begin. 9 to 5. This is one that I picked up at a garage sale a couple years ago. Fatherland, great movie that, as far as I know, isn't out on DVD. Very interesting movie about what would have happened if the United States didn't enter World War II. Jaws, this is one I picked up at a local store here in town, actually before it went out of business. This is a widescreen edition. I just thought it looked really cool. Grease, this is one I got from somebody that just didn't want it anymore. My So-Called Life, this is just an individual volume. I don't even know if they did this as a complete set or not, but I picked this up at Salvation Army or Goodwill, somewhere like that. This one is Dancing in the Dark and Guns and Gossip. Seems like old times. This is another one that I got at a garage sale a couple years ago. Pretty good condition. If you've never seen it, it's pretty good. Seems like old times with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. Charles Grodin, I think. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah, Charles Grodin. Seems like old times. Hamburger, the Motion Picture. This is the only official copy I had until I got my Laserdisc. Unfortunately, and this is a media release with a top and bottom flap. Very hard to find. Decent condition. But my VCR attempted to eat that. This is one that I got at Goodwill not too long ago. Dino Riders. Pretty fun. I watched a little bit of that. Very nostalgic and weird. Classic 16 Candles. Great John Hughes teen comedy. This is one I got actually at that local store also before it went out of business. X-Files, Fight the Future. I love this movie. Such a great film. I've seen it a ton of times. Of course, I am a big fan of the X-Files anyway, but that film to me is a masterpiece. I really, really dig it. Here's some that I've shown before. This is my media tape of Nightmare on Elm Street. Video Treasures media tape. Here is the 2-tape edition, the Limited Collectors Deluxe 2-tape set. Has a little flap. I've shown this before too. Looks like so. Very cool. I'm a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. This is one I got with a group of other things. This is Little Shop of Horrors, the old WB tape with that insignia on it, but it is missing the top flap. Pretty poor condition. Here's an old original Ghostbusters RCA Columbia release. Pretty good condition. A little worn around the edges. Here's two of the 2002 He-Man Masters of the Universe. Courage of Adam and Dragon's Brood. These are both new and sealed. These are ones that used to come with the action figures, so I never did open them. I'll show you the back there also. But yeah, they just say free video. One Crazy Summer. It's a great John Cusack film with Demi Moore and has Bobcat Goldthwait. He's really good in this. One Crazy Summer. I haven't seen that in a while. I need to watch that. Here's Grease 2. Michelle Pfeiffer. Show some cartoons here. Muppet Babies. I found these not too long ago and I was very excited, maybe a year or two ago. This is something that's had a lot of trouble getting an official DVD release. This one's called Be My Valentine. Muppet Babies. This one's called Muppet Babies Let's Build. This one's pretty famous from back in the day. Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. This was a joint venture between lots of different cartoon characters and the entities that control the properties on them to do an anti-drug message type of thing. They kind of all came together. And as you can tell by the cover, there's quite a few characters in this. This is fairly rare. The Ronald McDonald, Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, which I thought was an interesting concept. I like the Ronald McDonald characters. I grew up on them, but this is a very modern kind of take on the original 70s and 80s costumed characters that I grew up on. Have Time Will Travel. This is one of the tapes. The Visitors from Outer Space. It's another one. Birthday World. That's another one. Scared Silly. This one has like a particular card thing on the front of it. But yeah, Scared Silly. The Legend of Grimace Island. I haven't watched all of these. I think I watched part of Scared Silly, and I remember thinking that it was kind of odd because I don't remember it at all on television. But this one's McTreasure Island. This is a classic story type of thing. I haven't watched this, but when I saw the other ones, I went ahead and found this one too. Most of things like that may never make it to DVD. I'll show you a slew of blooper type sports tapes I've got. I really enjoy stuff like that. It's very nostalgic for me. This is the Best of Bob Uecker's Wacky World of Sports. My friend Greg, that you've seen on my channel before, and a couple of my other friends were all big fans of, corny old stuff like this. Bob Uecker's Wacky World of Sports again. This is another volume. The all new. It's very difficult to figure out which one's which on those. There's a bunch of them. This is one I always enjoy. This one's just called Superstars. If you're a big fan of the NBA stars of the late 80s, this has a lot of those in it. Very cool. Sports Illustrated did this. There's several versions of that, but they used to give them away when you would get a subscription to the magazine. The all not so great moments in sports. This is the similar kind of thing. This has some random dude's name on it. I'll cover that up just in case. Found that at like a thrift store. This is Dazzling Dunks and Basketball Bloopers. This one is the one that they actually gave away at Sports Illustrated. There's another version of this that has a different cover. But yes, Dazzling Dunks and Basketball Bloopers. And then they did an all-new Dazzling Dunks and Basketball Bloopers. These are both really good. It's fun to see all the funny stuff in there, but I really like watching the highlights from the early Slam Dunk contests. Super Duper Baseball Bloopers. This is one that Greg and I watched maybe like a year and a half ago. It's okay. But it's another one of those Sports Illustrated tapes. The Peanut Butter Solution. This is one that everybody talks about that's really hard to find. I think it only exists on VHS. I don't even think it's on Laserdisc. I'm not for sure. Night of the Demons. This is a sealed copy that I stumbled across a few years ago. Unrated version. I'm very excited about that. It's by Republic Pictures, which I found very odd. They used to do a lot of older movies and westerns and really odd television shows. Didn't know that they were doing that many modern, like horror movies and things like that. I say modern loosely. Night of the Demons is kind of old. This is 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tapes. These are the ones that actually were not included in the original series if you were collecting the DVD. So I picked these up on VHS at random points. This is the Turtles Awesome Easter, which has an episode that wasn't on those original individual DVDs. and Planet of the Turtleoids. And I used Zara Nizarak's video that he did trying to break down, the order of the episodes and how chaotic it got, and I used that series to find out the ones I didn't have, and then I tracked down those tapes. Since then, of course, I think they've corrected that, but either way. Modern Problems, this one's in like a bag, but this is a good Chevy Chase classic that's really hard to find with Dabney Coleman. Beavis and Butthead, But-O-Ween. If you watched my Halloween series, you saw that I talked about this. This is the tape. I actually didn't find that tape during the time that I was doing the video, or I would have showed it. Treehouse of Horror 2. This is an individual Simpsons release that you probably did see.